All right, guys, welcome back to Wealth and Travel on a Dime. Great video for you guys coming up today, but first, honey, where are we?
We are at Herrington Lake, and it's about 15 minutes from Danville, Kentucky.
So we are out in Kentucky. You see the beautiful lake right behind us. We are actually lakefront. We have two other couples coming. So honey, are we backpacking?
We are not.
Are we camping?
We are not.
Are we day hiking?
Nope.
So this one's gonna be different because we have an Airbnb. We're gonna be all kinds of bougie. We still get to have all the comforts of like backpacking and camping because we've got a fire pit, we've got a dock, we got so many things we can do, and the best part is it's not costing us a small fortune because we are splitting this between 3 couples. And we'll talk more about that later, but right now, let's show you the amenities before everybody gets here.
Come on in, guys. All right, so we got a very spacious kitchen with a nice sized dining room table. That is super nice. Last Airbnb we was at, we didn't have that much room. And a beautiful view of the lake. Right off from the kitchen is the master bedroom. It has a queen size bed, ceiling fan, lots of space to be able to put your clothes away.
And we don't know yet who gets what bedroom. Everybody else decided that.
Yes.
So we
always just pick what's last.
Yep.
And here is the bathroom.
With a nice barn door so I can lock my wife up when she gets out of hand.
This one just has a shower in it, toilet, sink, but it also has a washer and dryer.
Which can be very nice when you're here.
I really like the way they covered it with the shower curtain.
So do I. I think it's really nice. And they got some nice artwork and a TV. And it's one of those places where you can look at it and it looks nice, but at the same time, it's not like you feel like if you touch something that you're going to break it and be in trouble. Because everything is done in a used looking method. Like, look at the old key slots, which means this is an older piece. But it's in here so that it can be used comfortably, and it's got a changing chair, which most places don't have those anymore.
That's true.
All right, continuing on.
Okay.
It is extremely cool in here.
I love that it's open, so the kitchen, you can be working in the kitchen and still be able to talk to people in the living room.
Which makes this bar style for when we're serving and doing food, because food's a big part of our trips. And so is coffee with a coffee bar.
I didn't even notice this yet. Oh my gosh, I love the coffee bar.
Look at how it's got it wood burn into it. That is sharp. That makes this place even better in my book, because I'm a coffee addict.
And it has both. Because we do a regular coffee pot, and a lot of places are only putting in Keurigs now.
Yep.
So you can do either one here.
And they have a selection already there for you. So let's move on to the living room area.
I noticed this. It's a game table, which is kind of nice, something different.
Yep.
Not every place has it. But look at this living room. It seats 7. So with our 3 couples this time,
There's
have
plenty of
room.
seating. Nobody's sitting on stools in the back of the room. We can all sit in here and relax. Got a nice little TV and fireplace area. Really well decorated. I really like it. So as we continue on, it is now time to go down the hallway.
This is the other bath. And I'll let you just go in there because it's kind of narrow.
Wow, that's pretty cool how they have like the built-in sink here. And then you got your toilet, of course. And we got our standard shower, which is all you really need. It's got a pretty nice shower head on it, clearly. And then if you want to know a place that cares, the ones that have the self-spraying scent warmer things, that's a place that cares about how the look and smell of the property is.
This is bedroom number 2. It has a full-size bed and a closet, I do believe, right here.
Yep.
With some extra pillows and blankets.
Yep. Good use of space in a very small room, honestly.
Yes.
I love the look of that. The white with the wood. That pulls together nicely for a piece of furniture that probably wasn't super expensive. I really like that. And if you look, somebody has their colors together because the lampshade, this little mirror, the blues, It's all tied together. Somebody actually thought about this and put it together.
I do love the color scheme.
Yes, and this one, oh my gosh, is even better.
This one has 2 queen-size beds, little dresser, a chair. That's kind of nice.
I think those are full size.
No, these are queen size.
Are they really?
Yes.
Wow. This room must be very big then, because it makes the beds look smaller. Oh, I really like the black and white.
Yeah, I do
How
too.
everything goes together. Pillows, and even the lamp. You see how everything just goes together? This one has a wood ceiling, which is probably what made me think the room is actually bigger than it is, because it gives you the impression that it's bigger. But yeah, overall, a solid place with nice dressings on everything.
I'm super happy with it, but you have got to show them the outside.
So let's go through the outside, guys, because this is pretty nice. So we'll start here on the patio. You got a grill here. We have some outdoor furniture that's actually outdoor furniture. I mean, this is not the little cheap plastic stuff. We got a nice area to sit here with an amazing view of the lake. And it follows around here to the side with more seating. And this is the doors out of the living room area. So you can just walk out of the living room, sit out here after you made your coffee on the coffee bar, and just sit down and relax and enjoy the view in the morning. That's what I'm looking forward to. But we still have lots to see. Let's keep it moving. So this is probably where you're gonna see the guys hanging out a lot. We're all a bunch of fire bugs. It's not the biggest fire pit as it is an above ground, but we will make it work and we will be happy with it. Sitting here watching the butterflies land on the chairs, it's gonna be awesome. Just to sit here at night, have some guy time, and we'll set stuff on fire. Everybody loves it when you get to play with fire. As you can see, this whole place is well thought out as far as sitting with a nice view. And you do realize that there's a lot of people running around on boats during the day, and that's fine. They all seem to be really respectful. Now, as we come down underneath the house, we want to show you why this place is awesome. One, you'll see paddles, life jackets, and they have everything you want just to enjoy your time here, which gives you more value for your money. If you don't have to pay to go places and do things, then you're getting more value for your money. So obviously there's more room to sit here. They've got 2 sets of cornhole boards. We've got paddles, all different kinds, and they do have kayaks you can use here too. So that makes for a really nice opportunity to be able to go out on the water and have some fun, even if you didn't bring a boat. So we're on the bottom landing here, which is probably where the girls will want to spend their time to catch some sun. But this is only where it starts. It just gets better. Check this out. So we head down our steps here. Now these steps do have solar lights on them so you can see at night. But here's where it gets fun. So we come down to the bottom and you got this rock ledge wall all the way to both sides. So that could be fun to hang out on. But if you look, there's kayaks. You're free to use these or these little paddles, the little airboats to float in. We did bring tubes, and I believe that Gretchen and Willie are bringing some stuff down. But this is also amazing because if you look underwater, ooh, look at the big fish right there. Couldn't tell what it was. It looked like a smallmouth first off. But you can step down there and then just swim out. But that had to be every bit of a 1 or 2 foot. Let's see if I can get down there and see him. Yeah, he pulled off quick. I'll try and push in on the video and see if we can find him. But he had to be every bit of 18 inch. Probably a smallmouth, I'm guessing. Now, as we make our way back up these stairs, something I want you guys to understand is we are going to go try and chase some waterfalls. We are going to cook some good food, possibly get some trail time in. I haven't set up all the plans. That was done mostly by the girls. But I think we're gonna go to a brewery. We're having pizza night, fajita night, and we're just gonna show you how multiple couples can get together, put a trip together, super low cost. If you want the numbers, make sure you stay at the end, or you can go ahead and jump to the end to see the prices of everything. We will put the link to this exact Airbnb in the description below. But stay with us. This trip only gets better from here. All right, guys, so now as we're doing the load up in the cars and everybody is sadly dragging their stuff away to leave the Airbnb, let's talk about how the week progressed out for us, because this trip was much different than most people have. Let's start off with Saturday, the day that we arrived. We all kind of like did our little tour, and then we put our stuff away, and nobody wanted to do nothing but go down and go swimming and hang out. You know, we got down there and found out the bottom was much more inviting than what we were shown in pictures. They actually had kayaks there, and the girls took them on a spin and rolled around the lake here. And then, I mean, honestly, we pretty much just hung out swimming, having some adult beverages, and floating in our tubes that we had brought with us, which is such a small cost, and we have used so many times this year. It was excellent way to spend the first day here. Now, when we were done swimming for the day, everybody was hungry, so we came up here and we were lucky enough to have Gretchen make her amazing vegan spaghetti for dinner, and we all chowed down. It was so good. She made some garlic knots with it, and it was amazing. And then
there was absolutely tons of laughs that night. We played Pictionary, which was the first time I think I've ever played it. We had so much fun, and then after that, we ended up staying up and playing the game Things until probably around midnight.
Yeah, so it was a great, fun first day, and then we were all set and headed to bed for the next day. So day 2, which was Sunday, was a really lazy day, but everyone enjoyed it. We got up, had coffee, went down to swim some. Gretchen pulled out her brand new paddle board and then blew it up. It's an inflatable one, and we were all kind of like, yeah, I don't know. That thing, you could stand up on it. It was amazing. Girls were taking turns ripping around the whole lake on it. They actually switched out her stand-up paddle to a paddle for one of the canoes here, and they were boogieing. Gretchen
was giving everybody rides on it.
And doing tours, pulling us around in our tubes. She's out trying to visit the cows across the lake. And she was just on it. But it was a great way to spend the day, and we literally were being loungers that day, laying on the rocks. The sun was out. It was a really good day. And then everybody had built up such an appetite. We were coming up eating leftover spaghetti in between.
Yeah, that was lunch that day.
Yep. And then we ended up going back down, swimming some more, having some beverages, and then when we came up for dinner, it was time to get serious. So, honey, you made dinner that night. What'd you make?
I made fajitas.
Yeah, and she laid it out.
Spanish rice and refried beans.
And what did we use for meat?
Soy curls. So we made it vegan.
Yep, and it was amazing. It came out perfect, and we were all stuffing ourselves silly. And then the real fun started.
It was game time again. So that night, we actually played Cards Against Humanity.
And we spent so long playing that game. They have an expansion deck for it. It was so much fun. So many laughs. And so many, I can't believe you said or did that. It was fun. So kind of got to the point, though, where we were all just beat. Had to go to bed because the next day was coming. And it was an even bigger one. All right, so now we're at Monday. And everybody was feeling the regular, like, go to work Monday kind of feel, and was like, we better do something bigger today. We better stop lounging. So I kind of poked everyone to go take a short hike. And the only place close was this waterfall. Well, we drove to that waterfall, and that didn't work out because that's illegal crossing on somebody's property.
You can't even access it except for by the river.
Now, it was on all trails, and it was on different stuff, but you can't legally get there. It's illegal to go there. So we ended up backtracking, and we went through Shaker Village to try and chase another waterfall, which I don't even think they understood how to get there. But we ended up finding the waterfall.
And it was dried up.
Completely dried up. So it was like we just did this big old hike looking for like waterfall, and it was dried up. But that's okay, because from there, we ended up deciding, since we were already out, let's go check out a little bit of Danville. So we rolled over to, what was the...
Bricks and Brews.
Bricks and Brews. It was a nice little hole-in-the-wall place. Just kind of a nice, small, friendly environment. For a Monday at 1 o'clock, it actually had some people in it. And the staff was very nice. We grabbed up some food. and we had a pineapple cider. Just a nice basic place to go at a reasonable price. And then after that, we had found a brewery, and the brewery was supposed to be open, but the brewery wasn't open. So we actually ended up having to call the owner, who called someone else, and somebody came in. But we had a flight, and they had different beers and ciders. And that was called what?
Gypsy Run.
Gypsy Run, and we highly suggest it. It's a small hole-in-the-wall brewery, but they've got a real nice selection of some good quality beers, some IPAs, some ciders, some, just about anything you can want, and also have a high pour, or large pour, I guess they call it, wine selection. Mm-hmm. So we definitely suggest you want to try something and you're in the Danville, Kentucky area, you should check that out.
Then we came back and went swimming some more.
Yep, because that's what we do here. We sit around like beach bums on the rocks.
We were in the water a lot this week.
And then that was a night we had actually a very different kind of dinner that we weren't used to that was really good.
The loaded baked potato night.
Yep, just a full smorgasbord.
And we just had all different kinds of stuff to put on them. You could set yours up however you wanted.
Yeah, we had so much stuff. We brought so much food. It was just out of hand, but it was a nice way to end the night. We all had kind of had some drinks and we're ready to put something kind of stout in our stomach, and that fit perfectly. It made for a very nice evening to when we went on to
having a campfire.
So we sat around the fire, kind of enjoyed it. Really nice way to end the evening. I mean,
me and Brenda had s'mores that night.
Yep. And it was just a real low-key way to end the night. Tuesday morning started out a little different because we were all kind of run down. We actually all stunk like campfire from the night before. So everybody just took their time drinking coffee and taking showers. We wasted half the day just kind of vegging on the deck, vegging in here. As we got too hot, we'd come back inside. Everybody had a slow start, but we made it down to the water and ended up having a ball. I mean, people were disappearing, swimming to the other side. Like, you could backstroke to the other side in your tube. So people were doing that. It was really a real good time, but we were hungry. So we came up and we were eating wraps and leftovers from the fajita day. Some people were still eating spaghetti. I mean, it was just leftovers city. We had so much food in the fridge. So after eating lunch, we all went down and we were swimming, but we really weren't. We were kind of what we call hot tubbing, which is water comes up to your chest sitting on a rock. And we just all sat down there, we're talking and having like a circle and talking. And then dinner came. And this was a fun night because we laid out a full spread of brats. And I mean, more brats than we would ever, I don't know what we were thinking.
Grilled onions and peppers to go on them. And
I mean, just the full spread. And we made so many. Oh my God. It made no sense because me and Mike and Willie were all pounding them, and there was so many left. It was just terrible. And then what did we do that night, honey?
We did karaoke night.
Willie brought all his equipment down, and we always on a couple trip have a karaoke night, which, I mean,
Willie has a very nice setup for karaoke, and we have so much fun doing it. Me and Tony are terrible at it. But we do it anyway.
I am really bad. And we set the bar awful high because we started doing Weird Al songs in the middle of it. So they were just losing it as we're just like completely monotone doing this. But it was a fun experience. It went well into the night. And then we finally had to shut it down because we think we were being way too loud because we were all screaming, and it was fun. Claps were left and right. Everybody's getting clapped after they did their songs. And it just got to the point where we had to force ourselves to go to bed at that point. All right, guys, as you can hear, the air conditioner just kicked on here, and this place has an ice cold air conditioner. But honey, tell us about Wednesday and how that all played out.
Wednesday was very nice. However, we were starting to get a bit tired. So we had a little bit lazier of a morning, a little bit later start to our swimming activities because every day we've been here, we've been down there.
And that was a morning we all ate breakfast. All of us.
And it was a little bit chillier that morning.
Yep. When you got into the water, the top 3 feet of it was warm, but everything below that. So everybody started out on top of tubes. But what we didn't know is below that 3 feet, there was a 6-foot point, and I dove in and I hit the lowest point where it is freaking cold. I mean, I was down probably about 8-9 feet underwater, even with a life jacket, because I was jumping off the sides. And I'm gonna tell you now, it was cold. But it warmed up as the day went on, and it gave us a good excuse. Even after eating breakfast, like 3 hours later, we got out of the water and came up here and ate brats.
Leftovers.
Now, mind you, this place has 90 some steps to get down to it. So between like the walk in the yard, down the steps, down the decks, all the stuff, you end up taking 90 steps just to get down there.
And then you got to do all them steps back up.
Yep, but we came up and ate brats for lunch. It was an amazing lunch. I mean, we had so much stuff left over. We could fully dress up these brats. Everybody was just mowing down. We waited an hour, went back down, and stayed a little late that night down there.
Yeah, we did.
And then, what did we have for dinner that night, honey?
We had burgers.
Yep.
And pasta salad, I think we had.
Yes, we had pasta salad with it.
Had made.
It was the perfect, refreshing food. We had some chips with it too. Just the perfect meal, full done burgers, delicious, cooked perfectly, and everything just worked out the way we wanted it. Now, what did we do after that, honey?
This was another fun night. We ended up deciding to have another campfire that night because we had plenty of wood to do it with.
Big fire.
So we sat out there, and then Brenda downloaded the game Heads Up on her phone, and there was absolutely tons of laughs.
Don't let her shortcut you, because something happened before Heads Up, which Heads Up was absolutely hilarious. But that's what we did after dark, because before that, this one had the idea to pull out the cornhole boards from underneath.
Yes, so we did some cornhole tournaments.
We just basically traded partners back and forth, and I got killed. Everyone who's on my team lost. Everyone who's on my team lost.
We won the first game.
Okay, well, we won one game. That's true. But it was actually a lot of fun. I'm not a huge fan of cornhole, but this was just the perfect setup. We had the fire off to the left of us or right, depending on which side you're on. And we didn't even have a perfect like board setup, but it was still so much fun. And that was an amazing night. Everyone went to bed and left me and Mike out there by the fire to watch the fire burn down, because we don't go to bed when fires are burning. And I brought all hardwood, so that fire was burning. But we had a good time, got to kick back and hang out. I ain't got to see Mike lately, so it was nice to catch up. We muddled into bed, I think, at 1 in the morning. I don't know. We just headed in when the fire was burned down. And I gotta say, that was definitely one of the best days down here. So Thursday morning, we spent a lot of time here at the coffee bar. I gotta say, we were feeling it from the night before. But we ended up just like normal. Everybody kind of munched on what they wanted and meandered down to the actual water in order to spend the day down at the water. We were realizing we're closer to the end. It was our last real night, and we wanted to spend some time down there. But hunger got the best of us. And then somebody started packing stuff up and letting the air out of her tube, which sent everybody else in pack-up mode. And then they were all like, Missy was doing it, so we all packed up. But we got everything set up, tied off down there, all their equipment put away, their life jackets, brought all our stuff up throughout the day. While coming up, we were kind of snacking on whatever was in the fridge, because we knew we didn't want to take leftovers with us. So we didn't have a per se lunch. We just kind of had wraps and different things and whatever was in the fridge. But by the time it was dinner time, which was about 5:30, everybody was just famished. We'd done them steps like 10 times each. Everybody was whooped.
And we did have an amazing dinner, though.
That was absolutely amazing. Especially, everybody did it differently. Every couple did their own pizza. That was the deal. Now, where did we do ours, honey?
We actually cooked ours on the grill.
Yes, so she lit up the grill, made our pizza on a pan and slid it in there. And then we ended up having the grill already warmed up. And then Gretchen and Willie made their pizza, which had like so many peppers. And Willie was putting all kinds of hot stuff on his. I was like, you're going to be hurting. And then Brenda was in here because we didn't have room to cook everything at once. So she turned the oven on here and created a homemade stuffed crust pizza,
which looked amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it was crazy how good it looked. She did it upright. That pizza was knockout, and we all basically pigged out to the point where all we could do was lay out there and hold our bellies.
And after dinner, we were so stuffed that we decided to do something that was less
physical.
Yeah,
because we were all fat.
So we sat around and we watched a movie.
Yep, we all sat down and watched a movie, and then once the movie was over,
We played Gestures.
Yep. And it was a game that Willie and Gretchen brought, and you put cards on. Some are hard, some are easy, and you basically, it's like charades. You got to have people guess what you're doing without saying anything, and then a timer's on it, so the cards will start getting sucked down in the machine as you're playing. And it's really a fast-paced game, but it's also super hilarious because you're allowed to like point at stuff and use different things, and you can use like letters as long as it's not in the actual word. So, you know, it was we just made fools out of ourselves all night. It was a good time. So now, as we're getting ready to leave, literally everyone's out on the porch while we film this. We greatly appreciate our friends for putting up with us in the filming and everything else throughout this. I greatly appreciate my friends taking the time to take some video to help us put this together and to be as patient as they are, because every couple's trip, everything, they are very understanding. And I also appreciate the fact that they're okay with us sitting down here at the end like this and giving you the numbers. Now, honey, please run us through the cost of this trip. And mind you, this is per couple. And we also brought way more food than we needed, but there is one caveat before she starts. We're not going to tell you how much we spent on alcohol on this one because this trip was different than our normal ones. We wanted to all bring down stuff that was easy, bougie, in certain containers that wouldn't break if they were down, waterside, etc. So these numbers are no alcohol included.
So, and these are our numbers. I'm sure the other couples have similar numbers for everything without alcohol. So, going over the numbers, I think we did pretty good. For the Airbnb, it was $526 each couple.
Yep.
We did go out to lunch one time while we were here, and that cost us $43. Our food that we brought down for the entire week was $125.
And we bought that and put it in our electric cooler before we left.
Mm-hmm. And then the gas we are estimating to be around $60.
That's round trip. So it brings us to a total for the trip of
$754.
So let me ask you now, for 6 nights, 7 days, that is what a Best Western hotel room would cost. That's not counting the food and all the other stuff here. It'd cost you just that much for a hotel for me and her.
If not more.
Yeah, I'm talking bottom of the line hotel.
Yeah.
So we get to have this giant 3-bedroom, 2-bath Airbnb that's lakeside in Kentucky.
Full of activities. I mean, all the things we did was crazy. They did have games here, but we brought down games, and I mean, just everything.
You can do these vacations on such a budget. You do have to find the right people to go with, and I'll give you that. But once you do, you'll quickly make friends for life with them. And we appreciate ours, and we appreciate these trips we do every year with them because they're always there to be down to have fun and take care of each other and make sure everybody has a good time. And with that said, I gotta say, this was a trip for the books, a trip for the memories. We will definitely remember this one for a long time. And I suggest you guys go check out the link in the description, which will bring you to information about this exact property because they treated us right. This place was loaded up with everything you need, from a s'more bar to a freaking coffee bar to everything you need to have a good time. But with that said, if you haven't already, and I don't know why you wouldn't have by now, go down. Hit subscribe. Join the family. You're going to want to see what's coming up because this is just the start. As we document this, it's just going to get deeper and deeper. The hole that we're going to go down to show you guys how to have fun is never ending. And make sure you leave us a comment, a like. Let us know what you think of this trip. Is this something you'd be into? And with that said, we got to go say goodbye to our friends.
Yes. And we'll see you guys in the next one.